Hey everyone, this is MrTass with the MrTass 3D Print Shop. Got a different video going on today. This is going to be a little talk about Breachers, which is a new game that came out. Having a lot of fun with it, but I wanted to go over the guns. Let's talk guns, because there are a lot of guns in this, and it's interesting to figure out which ones work best, which have the most damage, and different ways that way. So I have crunched the data, because I'm a data guy. It's my main job, and I just wanted to relay kind of what I went through and found. So right now I am in the Breachers gun range, my own private gun range. You can see I've got a bevy of guns out in front of me here. And before we get into each gun individually, I just want to show you real quick what we're working with in terms of data. So this, I put it up above here, is an Excel data sheet that I put together. And so it goes by the gun name, the pistol, the fire rate, the damage, bullets per shot for the shotguns, damage fall off, wall penetration, you've got clip, cost, clip upgrade, grips, suppressors, shot type, notes, and then damage per second, damage per mag, and damage per mag with the maximum clip in it. And then just my notes of what we're going to talk about and go through here. So this is the baseline data, but that's not all that exciting to look at. Let's look at it while we're in VR and talk about it while we're in VR. So that's where we're at now. So we're going to start out with the pistols, because you start with the Jesper. The Jesper comes free, and it is, let's go ahead and pull that one up. And so I am using some Knuckle grips that I print. They're available in my print shop. You can check that out. These were designed by Chefschweisser. He's a guy in Germany. He also makes a light blocker for the Quest Pro. Really good item. It's available for free online if you want to go print your own also. Well, at least the normal version, not my mag version, but we'll get into that. So let's start with the Jesper, or Jesper. So the Jesper, you can see here, fire rate is 6.75 seconds with a damage of 20, fall off of 10 meters, so your damage starts to fall off, wall penetration of 100. So when we calculate that up, it'll do about 135 damage per second, 240 damage total from one clip if you hit all your shots. It is a single shot. You can't hold it down and fire, so it's just a single shot, and then the reload. So that's the Jesper, and it does not have any sights, anything else, and you get that one free to start with. The second gun they have is the Spectral. I'll grab you, and so that one has the same rate of fire, 22 damage, 10 meter fall off, 100 penetration, and this one you'll find has a 15 count mag versus 12, and it's a whole lot quieter. It is still single fire, but it's quiet. It's like it has its own silencer on it, which is really nice. And so with that one, there are no other upgrades to it. It does 148.5 damage per second, 330 damage per out with the mag. So it was 240 for the Jesper, 330 total damage for the Spectral. Then they've got the Cyclone, and the Cyclone is kind of a semi-automatic pistol, or an automatic pistol even. So 10-second fire rate, so it can shoot off 10 bullets per second. Damage is at 20, again same fall off. All of the pistols, well, 3 of the pistols have a fall off after 10 meters, 1 has a fall off after 15, but they all have the, and yeah, 100. So this one, only a 12 mag, and it's semi-automatic, so you press and hold and it'll keep firing. Now if you want, you can single fire with it, but you're more likely to shoot off multiple shots. It's really loud also. So that's that one. And then there's one other pistol. This is the Taurus. And this one is essentially a Magnum, as you would see in other guns. Only 4 bullets per second, so 4 second. 34 damage though, 15 meter fall off, so this will do more damage at longer distances and more wall penetration. This was the original gun that I thought I would like and go to, because I liked that it had more damage to it and the greater fall off distance. But the numbers don't hold up. So I forgot to go over the Cyclone has 200 damage per second, 240 damage per with the clip. The Taurus here has 136 damage only. It is actually almost the lowest. It's just down there with the Jesper, but only 204 damage per clip of mag versus the Jesper, which you start with, is 240. So if you're looking at all of these pistols, to me, the clear winner is the Spectral. It has the highest damage with the mag. I like that it's silent when you fire. Or not silent, but it's quieter. So for me, pistols, Jesper wins, or sorry, Spectral wins hands down. Let's move on. Next up, we have got the submachine guns. Now, I'm not usually a submachine gun, but I know they're popular. But let's get into them. You have three here. You have the Omen, the Viper, and the RCP. So with the Omen, it's got a 16-second fire rate, 18 damage, 10-meter fall-off, 100 wall penetration. It's got a 20 clip in it, and you can press and hold and fire. And actually, I'm going to make my life a little easier here. I'm going to swap out, and this is a solid print QuickAim. Again, using the same Knuckle grip system. So I'm just going to put that on. So now, if I pick this up, I can rest here. And we're good to go there. Anyways, back to what we were talking about. So the Omen here. The Omen comes in. It does have a clip upgrade, so it can go from 20 to 25. You can get a grip for it, suppressor. And it comes in at 288 damage per second, 360 damage normal with a clip. With the extended clip, it goes to 450, which is the lowest of the submachine guns. Bye-bye. Next up, we've got the Viper. So this is the Viper. 13.33 second bullets per second, 17 damage, 10-meter fall-off, and again, all of the submachine guns have a 10-meter fall-off, and all of them have 100 wall penetration. This one does have 30 bullets base out of the mag. So kind of nice there. Easy reload, as they all are. And this has 226.61 damage per second, but 510 total damage with the out of a clip, or 646 with the extended, because it can extend up to 38 bullets in the clip. So that's a nice one. Then you have the RCP, the third of the submachine guns here. So this is the RCP, 16-second fire rate, 16 bullets per second, so very fast, 18 damage, same fall off, same wall penetration. Comes with a 40 clip. There is no clip upgrade for it. But, you know, got a nice fire rate. So when you compare this one though, the RCP, it does have a suppressor, doesn't have a grip, and it comes in at 288 damage per second, which is the highest in the category, 720 base damage with out of a clip, which is also the highest in the category. The RCP kind of wins hands down for the most part in terms of stats, but the Viper comes in a close second, provided you do the mag, the clip upgrade to 38. So those are the submachine guns. Next up, we've got the assault rifles. Now this is where I like to play. I prefer assault rifle. I use an M16 in contractors. It's my preferred go-to. So we'll start up with the Cadillo. If I pronounce it incorrect, devs, I'm sorry. Okay, so the Cadillo, fire rate 5.25, 43 damage, 50-meter fall-off. And looking at these, 2 of them have 50-meter fall-offs, and 2 of them have 15-meter fall-offs. So that's a big difference in your range and how much damage you do at range. The 2 that have the 50-meter fall-off also have 200 wall damage versus 150. There is a clip upgrade from 12 to 15. you can see if I fire normal, I don't even have to have an extra hand on this, but if I do have the extra hand on, then it doesn't drift as much. So with this one, it comes in at 225.75 damage per second, 516 damage out of the base mag, 646 damage out of the extended mag. This was my go-to. I thought this was the one I would want, but looking at the numbers, and the reason I picked this because it's a single shot rather than an auto shot. I just always like to single fire. But after doing this data and spreadsheet, I have a new favorite, and we'll get to that. So that's the Cadillo. Next up, we've got the Oriole, or Oral. I don't know. Again, sorry, devs. I don't mean to butcher your names. All right, this one, 10 bullets per second, damage is 23, fall off is only the 15 meter, wall penetration at the 150. This does come with a 30 clip, and it is auto, so you can press and fire. And you can tap fire, but you can get a couple more bullets if you're not quick enough on the tap fire. So this one comes in, it does have a clip upgrade. It can go from 30 to 38. It does have a grip, suppressor, shots auto. Damage per second is 230, which is a little better than the Cadillo. 690 damage with the base clip, 874 damage with the extended clip. So good damage overall with the clip, but doesn't make it into the top here. Next up, we have the Vezin, or Vezin. Vezin, depends on where you're from. So this guy here, 11 bullets per second, damage is 26, fall off is the 15 meter, wall penetration is the 150. Comes with a 30 mag clip. And usually it's hard to fire just one at a time, but it is auto also. But it has a bit more accuracy, or a bit more less recoil, I would say, than the Oral. So that's nice. That one actually comes in a close tie with my favorite, which we'll get to again. But this one can be upgraded to 38 also on the clip. Does have a grip, has a suppressor option, comes in at 286 damage per second, which is the highest in the category. Comes in at 780 for total damage with the base clip, 988, which is the total damage with the extended clip. And all three of those are the highest in the category. By the numbers, this is your best assault rifle to use. But I personally, I prefer the Mari. Again, so sorry devs, we got to work on names. M-A-R-U-I. So this one, and I'll tell you why I prefer this one, even though the damage is a little less on it. So it's a 9.75 second fire rate, 27 damage. It has the 50 meter range fall off, so it will hit harder at longer distances. And it also has 200 wall penetration versus the 150. It does come with a 25 clip, which is lower, but it's a little easier to single fire this one. But you can still auto if you get into a pinch and you're up close. And that's why this one has taken over for me versus the Cadillo, because you can auto with it also, and I didn't really think about that originally. But it's got nice tap trigger. This is my new favorite. This is the one that I will go to. So looking at the rest of the stats, it does have a clip upgrade. It can go from 25 to 31. Has a grip, has a suppressor. Never use the laser sight, people, or the laser scope. Always use a top scope sight, like the Halo or the red dot. Never use the laser, because you're just broadcasting where you're at. But anyways, 263.25 damage per second versus the Vezin was 286. So you lose a little bit damage per second. Also, the base damage was 675 and 837 with the full clip versus 988. So you lose some total damage overall per clip, but I just like the feel of this one better, and that's what's going to happen for you on all of these. You're going to go in here, you'll test for yourself and see which ones Operate the way that you are comfortable with and you like to play with. The last set of guns we have the shotguns. Now, I haven't seen a sniper rifle in this game yet. Also, the maps are kind of small, so a sniper rifle doesn't quite work. But who knows? Maybe they'll come up with some different maps. But our two shotguns here, we have the Knut and the Hurricane. Maybe like Hurricane? I don't know. Again, devs, we got to work on names, man. But let's start with the first one here. This is the Knut. This one only has a 1.1 second, so 1 shot per second. Damage is 20. Fall off is only 2 meters because it's a shotgun. Wall penetration is 100. The wall penetration and the fall off are the same for both shotguns. This one has 5 shots out the gate. You can upgrade it to 7, and it is a much closer shot. It is a much more concentrated shot than the other one. So you can see that, which can be really good because if you're up close, you want all the bullets to hit, and that's the thing with these. So this one does 20 damage times 7 bullets. So it can technically do 140 damage per shot if all bullets hit. Put an upgrade. Oh, I didn't write the upgrades on this one, but it may not have an upgrade. May or may not. Either way. Yeah, it does have no, it doesn't have an upgrade because I didn't mark it. Anyways, has a narrow spread, comes out at 154 damage per second, which is pretty much on par with pistols, but it can do 700 total damage from the whole clip, which is a lot higher than the pistols. And then you have the Hurricane. Hurricane? Hayukin? All right, so this one is, again, a shotgun. This one does 8 damage, only 8 damage, but it does 13 bullets, not 7. Fire rate is 3 times per second, and the damage fall off is 2 meters. So it gets a little more oomph as you go. Has a 7 clip, and you can fire it faster. But you can see the spread on this is a lot more than the Knut was. So let's go see how much wider spread. There's more bullets, but wider spread. So where does this come out in the numbers? In the numbers, this one comes in at 312 damage per second, which is the highest total damage across all of the guns in damage per second. But 728 total damage in the clip, which beats out technically the Knut, which is only 700 damage in the clip, and it only does 154 damage per second. But personally, if I was going with a shotgun, I would go with the Knut because it is more condensed. So it gives you a little more damage at range than the Hurricane. So you'll make your own determination about what guns you like best. So for me, just quick rundown, shotguns. The Knut is my go-to. Assault rifles. The Maruyu, I can't do it, sorry, is my go-to because I just like it all around. That's my all-around favorite gun to use. Submachine guns, I don't really use them. RCP is the best. Viper is not bad. And then in the pistols, Jesper will get your job done to start with, but go for the Spectral. The Taurus just doesn't have enough bullets to count, and the Cyclone has too many bullets that go everywhere. So the Spectral is the way to go on pistols if you're looking for a quick, cheap 500 gun. Obviously, most of the guns I picked are the highest priced guns in the game. That makes sense. But it's easy enough to come across money and to get these guns and to do what you need to do. So that's the video I've got for you here. It's a really fun game. I suggest you get into it. I did want to show you just a couple of the other items I've got here from my shop. So I'm going to put this back into, there we go. Oh yeah. All right, so I'm back in my mag grips here. And let's get my rifle that I like. You start. All right, so with this type of game, it's a very quick action game. So using a gun stock sometimes doesn't always work so well, particularly if you're all the way up here. You know, it might take you a little time, but having no gun stock is even worse because you're floating too much midstream. So what you can do, I've got what I usually use in most games is I use what I call the mini mag. This is just a single bar with 2 points on it, which a lot of people don't understand a 2-point gun stock, but it gets the job done versus having a shoulder. So I just lock in, and I prefer to keep the bar on my off hand, on my reload hand. The reason being, it keeps the bar along in my forearm. I can feel it better. I can tap into it easier, and it's right here ready to go. And then when I pop off, I can reload. So that's the mag version. But in breachers, I'm actually finding I am using the QuickAim more. So this is a solid print QuickAim, which I do have available on Thingiverse. If you have a 3D printer, you can go make your own. This is a magnetic version from my MagStock Plus system, which lets you build whatever custom gun stock you want. So using the mags, this gives me the QuickAim here. So now I can go, fire. Nope, helps if I use the right button. Still getting used to the trigger for grabbing the ammo. But yeah, so that's the QuickAim, the mag version of it. The nice thing about these grips is that, as you can see, I'm using Quest Pro controllers, and I'm using a Quest 2. But these grips also will work with the Quest 2 controller. So you can still use a Quest 2 controller with these knuckle grips. So the knuckle grip, it's PLA plastic for this part, elastic bands I got off Amazon, and then this is TPU, which is a flexible filament, so it's a little squish of a pad for the backhand. And that's what I've got for you. Let's look at that data one more time, just so you can see it. And then we will call it a run for this video. So back to the Excel. So as you can see, here are the end numbers for it. Again, in the pistols, the Spectral is my winner. You can see it has the most damage per mag, and it's just quiet. It's a quieter pistol to use. In the submachine guns, I like the RCP and the Viper. They came out the best, but the RCP did come out with the most overall damage and the most damage per second. In the rifles, I like the Mari. That's my preference. By the numbers, the Vezin comes out though as having the most damage and most damage per second across the board, but I still would go with the Maru myself. And then the Knut and the Hurricane 1 damage and everything across the board, but I'd still go with Knut in this case. So thanks for coming out. Look for future videos. I will probably end up doing a couple more on breachers, and appreciate it. Have a great one. Bye.